Imagine you are a risk manager sitting late in the office, watching market numbers move across the screen. You trust your VAR model, but one question keeps coming back. Is my model really understanding the full story of risk, or only the worst losses? That's where our story begins, with probability integral transforms, or PIT. We normally test models by checking exceedances. Did losses cross the VAR limit or not? But that's like judging a movie by only its ending. PIT changes the perspective. Instead of looking only at extreme losses, we look at the entire distribution of possible outcomes. The model gives a forecast distribution, and PIT asks, where exactly did reality land inside this prediction? Every real outcome is converted into a number between 0 and 1, a simple score showing its position in the forecast. If the model is good, these numbers should spread out smoothly and evenly. Traditional backtesting was limited. It only asked, did we cross the VAR line? But risk is more than a single line. Markets shift, volatility changes, portfolios evolve. A model might pass exceedance tests, but still misunderstand the overall shape of risk. PIT steps in like a detective, collecting every observation, not just tail events, to see the full picture. Now, think about real trading days. Some days are calm. Some days are chaotic. Because of this, distributions change. Volatility changes. Positions change. So every day, the model creates a new forecast distribution. PIT acts like a translator. It takes each day's actual result and converts it into the same universal language, a number between 0 and 1. So every day becomes comparable. Coming to step, there are 4 steps of PIT. Step 1. Forecast the future. The model predicts tomorrow's P&L distribution. Maybe mean equals 0, standard deviation equals 500, assuming normality. Step 2. Reality arrives. The actual result shows up. Say, minus 250. We check where minus 250 sits in the cumulative distribution. It corresponds to about 0.308. That means 30.8% of possible outcomes were smaller. This single number, 0.308, is the PIT value. Every observation now becomes a probability. Step 4. Analyze the pattern. We ask 3 questions. Are PIT values uniform? Are they independent? Do they provide proper coverage? Same goal as exceedance testing, but far more powerful. The key property. Here's the magic rule. If the model is correct, PIT values should follow a uniform 0-1 distribution. Imagine placing outcomes into 10 bins, 0 to 0.1, 0.1 to 0.2, all the way to 0.9.0. Each bin should contain roughly the same number of observations. That's what perfect forecasting looks like. The distribution tells a story. If the histogram is flat, the model understands reality. But if some bars rise higher and others fall lower, the story changes. Now the model may be underestimating risk in some regions, overestimating in others. The shape of the PIT distribution becomes a mirror showing model bias. To confirm what we see visually, 3 statistical tests enter the story. Kolmogorov-Smirnov KS test measures the biggest gap between reality and perfection. Smaller gap means a better model. Anderson-Darling AD test focuses more on tail behavior, because in risk management, extremes matter most. Kramer-von Mises CVM test looks at the average difference across the whole distribution. Each test asks the same question differently. How close are we to a perfect uniform distribution? Kolmogorov-Smirnov KS test, its job is simple. Compare 2 curves, the actual PIT distribution and the perfect uniform distribution. The KS test measures the largest distance between these 2 lines. Think of it like checking the biggest mistake the model makes. If this maximum gap, called D, is small, the model is doing well. If D moves towards 0, the model is almost perfect. KS doesn't care where the error happens. It just looks for the biggest one. Anderson-Darling AD test. The AD test says, not all mistakes are equal. In risk management, mistakes in the tails, extreme losses, matter much more. So this test focuses extra attention on the edges of the distribution. If the model gets tail risk right, the AD statistic becomes very small. But if the model ignores extreme events, AD notices immediately. Kramer von Mises CVM test. Instead of looking for the biggest error like KS, it looks at the average error across the whole distribution. It measures the mean squared difference between what we expected and what actually happened. So think of CVM as asking, overall, how far are we from perfection? Smaller value means a better, more consistent model. Even if the distribution looks correct, one more condition. A strong model should produce pit values that are independent over time. Meaning, today's pit should not give clues about tomorrow's pit. If pit values start clustering together, it means the model is missing some pattern in the market. True randomness is the goal. The Berkowitz test is like the final check. Its process is simple. Convert pit values into standard normal numbers. Check whether these values show dependence using statistics or scatter plots. If the points look randomly scattered with no visible pattern, the model passes. If clusters appear, the model still has hidden weaknesses.